This is the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
I'm not making any money talking these days. Good Christ. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. Still am. I guess I am a decent guy because I'm a fucking jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Apparently I'm a dick. I'm not an awful guy, but I've done so much ridiculous stuff. I'm an awful guy. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. How are you, folks? I'm good. Thanks for asking. I know you were asking that. Why not? A little late doing the show today. It's not late. It's dark out, though. I hate early dark. Oh, fuck, I hate early dark. And you know what's worse is because I work that grave thing, and then I wind up sleeping in the daytime. Like, I don't go to bed until 10 or 11, which means I wake up at, like, 6 or 7, and then it's still dark out. Like, you go to bed when it's light, and you wake up when it's dark. It's like you're kind of like a half Dracula. Oh, I fucking can't stand it. Because then you wake up when it's dark, and you're supposed to get up, but you can't because you're like, oh, it's dark. And your body's like, hey, dude, you're supposed to stay in bed now because it's still dark. And then you don't get up. And then you wind up sleeping for hours and hours. And let's face it, folks, if there's anything I would rather do with my life rather than talk to you is sleep for hours and hours. No offense. I enjoy all of you, and I certainly do enjoy bringing you all sorts of messages about what you should and shouldn't do in a convenience store or what to do when there's someone shitting on the floor. I can't – literally, I listened to last week's show last night. And I loved it. I thought it was great and really funny. But at the same time, Jesus Christ, I need to stay out of convenience stores. When I sent out the Twitter last week to tell people the show was ready, and I actually wrote, I need to stay out of convenience stores. And upon further reflection, yeah, no fucking kidding. I need to stay out of convenience stores. I need to buy all of my goods from a truck or from someone in a driveway with a blanket out and bowls on it. I need to do something that keeps me out of stores because whenever I show up, shit hits the fan or the floor, as the case may be, unfortunately. And that's why today I was trying to think. I'm like, well, do I have another story where I'm at 7-Eleven or somebody shits on something? God damn it, I need to figure that. That's what the show's just going to be called. The show should be called Bing Bong Shit. That's what the show should be called. Because that's the noise that you make when you walk into 7-Eleven on the door, and then obviously somebody winds up shitting all over the place in my stories. God damn it. It was funny. When I was on Never Not Funny, I could have never told any of those stories because Bardo would vomit. He would projectile vomit all over the place if I ever brought those up. When I was telling the gym stories, he would just make this cringing face. I mean, dude, we talked about cooking meat, and he ran away ready to puke. So, I mean, believe me, there's no way I could tell those stories ever. And they never came up, quite frankly, because we were all very busy talking about other important things. We never got to talking about the time I saw a guy shit on the floor of the 7-Eleven. All right, so, hi. I figured I'd breathe now. That's our friend Lili von Stupp in the background. You might hear her. She's in the background, although she's going to be in the foreground soon enough because I think she and I are going to do a tandem podcast. Together, face-to-face, talking in one microphone the whole time, staring in each other's eyes. You know what? We'll be as close as the guys on Electric Company who, like, put words together. And, like, they play that song, do-do-do-do, shotgun. I'm not sure if Shotgun was ever on the Electric Company. I have to be truly honest with you. Now that I backpedal and I think about it, I don't think they ever said Shotgun. But that's the one Lily and I would do. So, literally, I used to think those people were naked, by the way, when I was a little kid. I don't know if that's what it says about me or what it says about me about people. I don't know, but I used to think when those people were in silhouette and they were really close to one another and they would do bottle and shotgun bottle. I used to think in my head I was just like they're naked. Those people are naked in a room. Staring at each other and putting together words. I don't know why I thought that, but that's what I did when I was a kid. I'm a fucking weirdo. That's what it is. I'm a weirdo, folks. And I will tell you that this show is for Cody, who's called twice wondering when I was going to play Depeche Mode. I just heard that on Sirius Radio coming here to the show. I had on channel 44, which is Alternative Nation. And it's all the music of my youth. It's K-Rock of my youth, folks. So much so that Richard Blade and Swedish Eagle are on there. Now, folks in the other parts of the country, you might not know who Richard Blade and Swedish Eagle are, but they were guys who were on K-Rock, which is like a great alternative station here in L.A. At least it was in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, and now it's, I don't know. I don't listen to terrestrial radio. I don't even know if it's still on the air. I have no idea.
It's not.
It's not. Oh, it's gone. And terrestrial radio is a wasteland. It's literally just news reports and people saying Obama's a dick. That's it. That's all terrestrial radio has become. But when I'm literally in the car, and this guy, Richard Blade is talking, and he's telling some story about erasure, because God knows we all need to hear stories about erasure. And then he says, now this next one's for Cody, who's called me twice, wondering when I was going to play some Depeche Mode. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is wrong with Cody? Hey, Cody. Put down the phone and pick up your iPod, because I'm sure it's full of goddamn Depeche Mode. I mean, are there people in this country who don't have Depeche Mode at their fingertips at all times? I mean, are people still calling radio stations? That doesn't make any sense, right? Again, I don't listen to radio stations for requests and stuff like that. I didn't know that still existed, quite frankly. But I have to figure, if it does, you know what? Calling once will do. Cody, I don't think you need to go ahead and back up your first call with a second call. What's Cody do? All right, Cody's at work, or he's at home. Let's say he's at home. And he's like, God, I really wish I could listen to Depeche Mode. I have all their CDs, but, I really like Depeche Mode a lot better when I order someone to play it for me. I like the illusion of slavery with my musical entertainment. So he calls up Richard Blade. He's like, hey, when are you going to play some Depeche Mode? By the way, he doesn't say any particular song or CD or anything that he likes. He just badgers Richard Blade, because it's not even about Depeche Mode at that point for Cody. It's about power. It's like where rape's not about sex, it's about power. Well, calling up to tell Richard Blade to play Depeche Mode is not about Depeche Mode for Cody. It's about power. He just wants to be able to tell somebody somewhere to do something, because as he's off barista-ing or working in his little cubicle in his office, he has no power in his life. He knows there's one person on the world he can bully, and that's fucking Richard Blade. So he can call him up and go, hey, when are you going to play some Depeche Mode, dick? Like, I'm sure he probably had that tone in his voice too. Ring, ring. Hi, Alternative Nation. This is Richard Blade. I used to be famous in the 80s. Yeah, hi, it's Cody. When are you going to play some fucking Depeche Mode, man? And Richard Blade's like, wow, I'll hop right to it, Cody. Sorry about that. And he hangs up the phone. Cody, sitting in his cubicle, smiles to himself and goes, ha-ha, fuck you, Blade. I own you. I can make you do whatever you know what? I say jump, you say Depeche Mode. That's how it worked, God damn it. You and me, Blade. So he knows that he's got Blade in a corner. So then, 15 minutes, a half hour goes by, and then he thinks to himself, fuck, they still haven't played Depeche Mode. God damn it, Blade. I told you to play Depeche Mode. Cody picks up the phone a second time, because again, folks, he's really just neutered in his cubicle under fluorescent light. He's like Joe versus the volcano. It's Cody versus his life. That's what it is, and Cody's losing. His life is whipping the shit out of him. So now Cody says to himself, you know what, fuck it. I gotta go ahead and dump on Blade a second time. Why the fuck won't he do what I say? He's my goddamn radio slave. Hop when I say fucking hop. So he calls up Blade a second time and goes, hey, what the fuck, man? I heard you were going to play Depeche Mode. You told me it when I called last time. And Richard Blade is like, dude, who is this? Why are you calling? Hey, it's fucking Cody, Blade. I just called you like 20 minutes ago, said, when are you going to play some Depeche Mode? What the fuck is going on over there? And Blade is like, Cody, seriously, I'm sorry, you just called like 20 minutes. There's other songs. I mean, there's kind of a playlist. Cody's like, I don't give a rat's fuck what you're doing over there, Blade. You tell your program director, you tell all those, you tell fucking Martin Gahan, I don't give a shit what anybody has to say. I'm fucking Cody, and I want you to play Depeche Mode right the fuck now. Well, Cody, did you have a song in mind or any sort of, fuck you, Blade! It's not for me to go through and thumb through and pick fucking songs. Nobody cares about favorites. You do what I say. If I say play Depeche Mode, you fucking play Depeche Mode right fucking now. Who do you think you are? How can you put me off? I'm fucking Cody, goddammit! So Blade is like, all right, you know what, Cody, I'll take care of it. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're goddamn right you'll take care of it. You know why? Because fucking CO to the DY has fucking spoken. Click! Cody fucking slams his phone down so hard that the other people in the office all kind of like go, what the fuck's going on in Cody's cubicle? Maybe he's gotten bullied again by the boss, because that's what Cody does. He gets bullied by the boss, and the only thing he can do to make his life right again is to call up Richard Blade and poke him through the fucking phone like a goddamn song monkey and make his Depeche Mode come to life. So fucking Cody's in his cubicle, and what happens? Richard Blade immediately goes to the microphone and goes, hey, this is for Cody, who's called twice wondering when I was going to play Depeche Mode. And Richard Blade, I could hear it in his voice. He had kind of a Stockholm syndrome going on, because he was like, you know what, fucking Cody is a dick, but I can't betray that on the air. But, you know what, I can actually hear Richard Blade blinking, help me, in Morse code, because he thinks that Cody's going to come after him, because Cody was so fucking rude to him on the phone. And why would Cody do that, quite frankly? Because, again, Blade doesn't know the backstory. We know how bad Cody's got it at his office. We know Cody's sitting there in the cubicle getting bullied by everybody, being told to make copies, and the only person he can fucking take it out on is goddamn Richard Blade. And what happens? He calls Blade. Blade comes to me through the fucking radio, and I wish I could help Richard. Honestly, if there was anything I could do, I would call him and I would take care of it. And I would say, dude, Richard, don't worry about Cody, okay? He's a guy who has no handle on his own life, and he tries to take it out on other people. And right now, you're his dumpster, man. You're the one getting dumped on. So why don't you just go ahead and play? You know what? You know what would be fitting for you to put on, quite frankly? People are people. Because, I mean, that's who Cody is. Cody is Cody, and why should it be that you and he should get along so awfully? Because he's fucking Cody. That's why. That was dumb for like 9 minutes. I don't know what the hell that was. All right. And then the funny thing is you know, it's Lily wrote down, she thinks it's hilarious that I just talked about some guy named Cody, and he's never going to know about it. Like he has no, the guy has no reference point. He called up and just all Cody wanted was to hear Depeche Mode. Why don't I get off his back? What's wrong with me? Why do I have to extrapolate into a horrible situation? Maybe Cody's just lonely, and he really needs to hear his Depeche Mode. By a God, you know, iPod shuffles are $100, Cody. Take $100. Maybe you can't even afford it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe he can't even afford to have. I don't understand it, quite frankly. We live in a time where Depeche Mode shows up when you don't even want him to. Like, I mean, you walk into a store or you're at a gas station. Now at a gas station, I got televisions telling me what people are doing. I don't fucking care. I'm just trying to put gas in my car and avoid getting hit by fingernail clippings. That's all I'm doing at a goddamn gas station. Oh, God, my goal, you know what? I want a television show, and I want it on the gas station network. That's where I want it. I don't want it to air anywhere else except the gas station network, wherever the Chevron television network, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know, CTN. And God, I love it. I love watching those people when and there's a woman that they hired, and here's how bad it is. I've Googled the woman from the Chevron network to see if she's got naked photos on the internet somewhere, because I think she's kind of hot. Yes, I have. I can't remember her name, but I made sure I remembered her name and went home and Googled her to see if I could find her naked on the internet, because that's where those people, because I figured she had like a naked past, and then that's why she wound up on Chevron, because she's got nowhere else to fucking go. I should have gone the other route where she's starting out, and she starts out at Chevron to get bumped up to CBS or somewhere important, but I go the other way. I figure she's got some horrible past, and she can't get a job anywhere but the Chevron television network. So I'm like, but that's who I am. I'm standing there, fucking. Because let's put it, gassing up your car, the very act of gassing up your car is sexual as it is, right? We can all agree on that. You slowly untwist the cap to expose the hole, and then you jam the hose into the hole. And so then you're like, oh, you know what? I already got half a hard on just putting gas in the car. Then I got to turn around and see some hot chick telling me about, the people who work at Chevron. Fuck that. Immediately, I'm thinking about getting laid. So I immediately I remembered her name, and I went home and Googled her, and unfortunately, no, she's like new. So I'm very disappointed that I couldn't find her being naked. That's why, but I do it all the time. I will see someone and go, all right, I bet she's been naked on TV. Like, there's a movie that I love called Guide for the Married Man. It's from the 60s, and I love it. And there's an actress named Inger Stevens. I go, oh, you know what? And my favorite part is, again, I would say 88% of the time, these people have been naked, and they're on the internet naked. That's the best part of it. I'm like, Inger Stevens is an actress from the 60s. I Google her, boom, there she is naked. Yeah! All right, and naked in her prime, not like naked now. That'd be fucking horrible. Like if I found like a now naked Inger Stevens, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, put a muumuu pants, anything, something on to cover all of that exposed flesh and silver bush. I don't want to see any of that. Because I'm sure Inger Stevens has a silver bush. She's not taking care of it. She's not manicuring. She's not shaving her I don't want. I didn't know what to call it. Like I almost said dick beard, but I'm like, she's like a lady. Like she wouldn't have a dick beard. A guy has a dick beard. He's got to shave that. All right. Where did oh, Cody, you don't know what you've wrought. But and then Lily's like, what if Cody listens to the show? She wrote that, like he listens to our show, which is absolutely not true, because he would have called by now. I think definitely. If Cody listened to the show, he would have somehow, I see the Chevron chick and immediately go, I got to Google her and see her naked. Cody would have heard my show and said, I got to Google that guy and find a phone number, because I need to call up when he's going to play Depeche Mode in that fucking podcast. Seriously, what's he talking about? He's talking in circles about nothing. He's going on and on about shit in a 7-Eleven. Jesus Christ. Nobody gives a fuck that a possum tried to eat you. Where the fuck is my Depeche Mode? Cody's a very demanding man. I didn't even know that people still called for requests, especially on satellite radio. That seems crazy. There's 1,000 stations. Push buttons. Eventually, you're going to find someone playing what you want to hear. And again, I go back to my anti-iTunes. I wish you could call radio stations and request what they don't play ever. I would call the Boneyard and XM and go, listen to me, if you play Great White again, I'm going to set fire to a nightclub. Seriously, I'm sorry, what's that? They beat me to it? Okay, well, fine. Carry on then. I don't like Great White. Quite frankly, I thought the greatest tragedy of that fire was that Great White got out alive. I don't know how the fuck that happened. How did that happen? Literally, their fans are dying, and I mean, they're fans of Great White, so that's quite disappointing because I'm sure the next morning, drive-thrus everywhere were stalled because there weren't enough workers to hand out McGriddles. But still. How rude is that? This is awful. Last week I said I'm not going to talk about Fort Hood. Now I'm talking about the Great White Fire. Although I will tell you, I was on the road when the Great White Fire happened. I was with Pardo. We were in Peoria, Illinois, I think. And the next night, I went up and did like 6 minutes on the fucking Peoria Fire. The Peoria Fire. That would have been perfect. No, on the Great White Fire. And it was fucking hysterical. I'm not going to lie to you. God damn it. It was the funniest stuff ever. I said, I will tell you, here's what I said. I said, there was the fire, the Great White Fire, and it turns out some of these victims, they're going to have to use dental records to identify them, which, let's be honest, it's a Great White show. Not a lot of fucking teeth in that room. I did that the next morning. Or, no, not the next. I was actually, we went to do a morning radio show the next day, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, I should do that on there. No, don't, that's not good. Don't do that. But I did it the next night at the... Because I went up on stage, we were playing in a big theater, and so I went up on stage, I go, look, before I even start, I want to make sure you guys realize there are fire exits over here, and there are fire exits in the back, just in case my pyro goes crazy, and we all have to get the hell out of here. And then it was all rampaging from there with incredible funniness. And I couldn't believe that story. And then, oh my God, the tape of it, why am I even talking about this? Who cares? This is the kind of story that they would be covering on the Chevron television network, like now. Like they'd be like, here's an expose on the Great White Fire, which great funny. I don't even want to see Chevron television network talking about fire that close to my gas pump. Okay, can we agree on that? Don't talk about fire because then inevitably something's going to happen and someone's going to smoke and everybody's going to blow up. I want nothing to do with fire at the gas station. Unless it's talking about that hot chick. Can't even talk about a hot chick at the Chevron gas station. She's too hot. Boom, everything blows up. Back off. First time, long time, I'm going to hang up for my answer. I didn't even know, again, I didn't know that people called and asked for music. That just seems weird. That was a dynamic from when I was a kid. When I was a little kid, I actually I would call up, there was a show called Boogie Check in Chicago. And John Records Landecker hosted it. And what it was he would do Boogie Check, and then he would just answer the phone, and it was a time for free-form expression from anybody. They could call up and say anything they wanted, and John Records Landecker would handle it with aplomb because he's John fucking Records Landecker, so he would go ahead and handle it. So as a kid, you'd hear Boogie Check, and they'd say Boogie Check in 10 minutes, and you just start dialing the phone to try to get through. Now I'm like 9, I think, or 10. I don't know how old I was, but I called up, and I fucking got through to Boogie Check. And Landecker picks up the phone, he's like, Boogie Check, who's this? And I go, it's stupid, man. Mike. I'm like totally small. And he's like, hey, Mike. And I will, again, the next 30 seconds of my life, a complete blank. All I know is John Records Landecker would say stuff, and I'd go, yeah. And then he'd say something, and I'd go, yeah. Like, I can't even imagine how lame it sounded to the other Boogie Check listeners, to the point where I was so fucking embarrassed, I couldn't listen to the radio for a week. Because I felt that the people knew that I was listening and that I had embarrassed myself on the air. It was terrible. Like, I had that's how into myself I was, because I just went, yeah. And then he made fun of me and hung up. And then you're on that 6-second delay. So there's nothing worse than getting made fun of on a radio call, because then you hear it and you're like, oh, that's terrible. Click. Oh, it's happening again on the radio 6 seconds later. Oh, my God. He's making fun of me there, too. It's like you get a double whammy. Like, it's like he went fucking, he gave you a kick to the liver and then an uppercut to the face, and you're out. So I got fucking Boogie Checked into oblivion by Landecker. I couldn't listen to the fucking radio for a week. It was terrible. And another time that happened, I called up, same thing. I just called up WLS, because WLS was the huge radio station when I was a kid in Chicago, and they played music. So I wanted to hear Dance, Dance, Dance by Chic. And the reason I wanted to hear it as a child, being 9 or 10 or however old I was I just liked the yowza, yowza, yowza part. That's what I liked. Like, the song itself was okay, but I loved the yowza, yowza, yowza. That was the thing I really enjoyed. So I call up WLS, and it's ringing. And I'm like, oh, my God, it's ringing. I can't believe this is happening. It's ringing, it's ringing, it's ringing. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell them I want to hear fucking Chic. I want to hear Dance, Dance, Dance. It's going to be so great. Why does a 10-year-old kid want to hear Dance, Dance, Dance? For no other reason other than yowza, yowza, yowza. I'm sure I was probably going to say, hey, play yowza, yowza, yowza. You know what I mean? And but I knew enough to know that it was Dance, Dance, Dance because I loved that yowza part. So I'm waiting, it's ringing, I'm waiting, it's ringing. And finally the guy answers, and he goes, WLS. And I go, hi, yeah, could you play Dance, Dance, Dance by Chic? And there's a beat, and he goes, turn on your fucking radio, and hangs up. And I turn on the radio just in time to hear the end of Dance, Dance, Dance by Chic. So that's how pathetic I was. Like, I didn't even think to turn on the radio. I was so excited that the phone was ringing. I turned the radio up because I knew that much. You weren't supposed to have your radio up so they could, so just in case they put me on the air being 10 years old and they wanted to talk to me for about a half an hour about music and the things that I like. And I'm sure that all I would say is yowza, yowza, yowza a million times. But I turned the radio completely off and waited for it to ring 5 minutes. It's ringing, couldn't believe it. And he goes, and literally the guy said to me, turn on your fucking radio. That was the extent of the politeness I received from the employees at WLS. I turned it on in time to hear Dance, Dance, Dance fade, like ending. I heard the last 30 seconds of it. And again, so embarrassed that I turned the radio off and didn't listen to the radio for a week again, for a few days, because I thought for sure people could hear my embarrassment. I was so creeped out and freaked out. Oh my God, it was awful. Oh. So I guess I understand where Cody's coming from now, that he called the second time. He went ahead and called the second time to make sure. Because I've done that. I called, dude. I won. I actually was the 15th caller once on WLS, and here's what I won. I won the Get the Knack album, and I won a Get the Knack T-shirt. So I was all excited for my Knack stuff, right? And I'm waiting, and you win. And I'm checking the mail again. I was 79, so I'm 12. And I'm in 7th grade or 8th grade or whatever I was, and I'm all excited. I'm waiting for my, I don't know how it's going to come. Is it going to come? Is there going to be, is WLS, are they themselves going to deliver it to me? Is the Knack going to helicopter in and land on my roof, play my Sharona, and then leave my stuff in a nicely, with a bow? I don't know how it's going to happen. So I come home from school one day, and my brother, Lenny, is in high school now. And I'm still in middle school, like I said. And so I'm in 8th grade. And I come home, and there's a package leaning against the door. And it's addressed to me. And I'm like, no way! So I go and I get home before Lenny, and I rip it open, and I pull out the shirt, and it was crazy. It was the yellowest yellow shirt I've ever seen. The brightest. It looked like I opened a package, and oh my God, they sent me the sun. Thank you for packaging the sun and sending it to me. And I pulled it out and shook it out, and it just said the Knack with like arrows and a big WLS on the back. And it had the album, and I was so excited. And I immediately put the shirt on, and I'm holding the album, just like staring at it. And then I wanted Lenny to know right away. So I go outside, and I'm waiting. I'm on my driveway, just standing there with the Knack shirt on and the album. And then his bus turns down the street. And I just start jumping up and down. Yeah, yeah. And I'm waving the Knack album, and I'm wearing my shirt. I'm like, yeah. And I literally see his bus drives by me, and he's in a window seat, and I see him just kind of like slump and put his head in his hands and just like cover his face up. And like people on the bus started making fun of me. Like, they start yelling at me. They're like, oh, what the nice fucking shirt. Like, they're yelling out the bus at me, Dave Sheehan and like some other guys who lived on our block and went to high school. And Lenny gets out of the bus, and I go, dude, because he was, when I won, he was so excited too. Like, he's like, oh my God, you won, yay! We're all happy, yay! And then he gets off the bus, and I'm holding like the album, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I got it, it came today finally. And he just goes, fucking leave me alone. And he like walks right by me, leaves me standing there in the like I'm in the driveway with the Knack album over my head and the Knack album and the Knack shirt on. It's bright yellow. Literally, the school bus had to swerve because my shirt like shined in his eyes, and he almost crashed into a yard. I mean, it's like that yellow, and I'm holding it, and I'm crestfallen. Like, I don't know why he's not happy. And it was, you know what? It was the first time where I really learned about the older brother, younger brother dynamic. He was in high school now, man. You know what I mean? It's like we grew up and we were best friends all along, and we were together and we did everything because, when my dad died, my brother became my dad, essentially. So he and I were together all the time doing everything. And when he went to high school, it was the first time we weren't in the same school together. So for him to come home and blow me off like that, like I was so hurt by it. But now when I look back at it, I realize, I embarrassed the shit out of him because it's like, oh man, your little brother. Look at your little brother jumping around with his shirt and his album on. And so he was going to get his balls busted for it, even though he had fucking nothing to do with it. And at the time, though, I'll tell you, I was so hurt because he was so, I wasn't even, I wasn't even hurt as much as I was confused because we were in the house and we were so excited when I won. Like, yay, the knack, because we loved my Sharona and we were so happy and I was going to get a shirt and it was so cool. And then for me to go outside and be waving it over my head and holding it and for him to walk past me, oh my God, that was just, it was confusing, but then it also, like, it was the first time I ever was really cognizant of the fact that, you know what, you might be close in age, but things change when you get older. And that was the first time I ever realized, you know what, things are going to fucking change. And, I think is that sad? Is that horrible? I was going to go to break, but now it's like I can't even do that because I just had the saddest anecdote ever. You know what? Let's talk more about Cody. Fucking Cody right now is in his office. What time is it? 6 o'clock? He's probably putting in some goddamn overtime. Cody's so pissed off. You know what? He's going to call Richard Blade right now because he's so mad that he's still in his office. He's going to be like, God damn it. What the hell? Why aren't you playing Depeche Mode yet? Turn on your fucking radio, Cody.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy. Coming up later tonight, the death of Ricky Tikki Tavi on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
Oh, I'm Vic.
And I'm Vinny.
And we're the Screw Brothers. Come on down to our house of filth. We got plenty of adult toys we don't know what to do with. But I bet you know what to do with them. Stuff like
Baby House Lawn Job.
Turn Your Cock Black paint sets.
My Friend Fisty.
Let's Just Cuddle dildos.
Anal Extravaganza.
Platypussy brand Pussy Lip Extenders.
It's a jerk-off stopwatch.
We got the I Love My Wife ass stretching kit.
Hey, fans of the 40-Year-Old Boy, mention Mike and get a free Ape Cock 2000.
Open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Come on down to our house of filth. Remember, it ain't filthy.
Unless it's screw filthy.
Why is that funny to you? I don't know. I always do a breath before I come back, like when I'm recording or I stop recording and I have to start. Literally, this is what I do before every time I go, like I don't know why. And for some reason, Lili laughs every time. And I know those of you who listen to the show are thinking to yourselves, well, Lili laughs at fucking everything you do. True, which is totally true. So, I mean, point taken. You know what? Point taken, folks. Point for you. You win this debate. You know what? I'll be back. I'll be back with nuclear weapons. That's from Splash. That's Eugene Levy. All right. No, it isn't. It's John Candy. No, it's Tom Hanks. I don't know. They're all in Splash. It could be any one of them. It's not Daryl Hannah. I can tell you it's not Daryl Hannah. There you go. It was the dolphin. This is the second week that Daryl Hannah's been mentioned in a row. Daryl Hannah was in it last week. As I mentioned Roxanne. Because, again, folks, on the fly, who's great? I'm great, right? Tramp and the Tramp last week? God damn it, that's funny. All right, so remember last week? Wasn't that great? If you ever find yourself in the middle of the show like going, oh, I'm not on board with this. This is not my piece of cake. Then you should go, hey, I had delicious cake from him last week, and then go listen to last week's cake. Or just sit tight because eventually delicious cake will arrive. You might be thinking that there's no delicious cake to be had, but certainly at some point you're going to find a piece of cake you want to bite, folks. And I'm here to serve it up for you. I'm going to cut a big triangular piece, put it on a plate, and watch you chew it up. All right. Here's something I had to do this week. I had to throw away a featherbed, which I don't like throwing away. You know what a featherbed is? Featherbed is it's a thing. It's like a mattress pad, but it's not a mattress pad because that's what old people use. Featherbed is something much nicer. I guess it's the same thing. Mattress pad sounds like something from the 20s. You know what I mean? Like you'd finish a long day threshing in the fields and you'd go lay on your mattress pad. But now you have a featherbed, which is it's like a big down thing, and it goes on your bed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but there was a song about Grandma's feather bed.
Grandma's featherbed?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe old people use those too. I don't know. All I know is it's great. It's something that my wife, again, it's lady stuff. I don't know anything about what a fucking duvet is. I don't know what any of that stuff is, but my wife will show up and bring it in, and I'm like, oh, good, I enjoy this. This is great. So she brought a featherbed into the equation where it's just extra bed. That's what it is. It's just... It's like extra cheese on a burger or on a pizza. It's extra bed. You got your bed, and then boom, you throw on extra bed, feather bed. And so we've had one for a long time, and it was time to get rid of it, I was told. Because again, I don't care. I would, as long as it's covered with a sheet, I don't even think about it. It's just extra bed. But she's like, we got to get a new one. This one's getting flat. Even though we fluff it all the time and it's not flat anymore. But all right, fine. If we got to do that, we got to do that. If we got to go out and spend another whatever the fuck on a new feather bed, fine. So we have to throw away the feather bed. Now here's the problem. We've had this feather bed for a while. I'm going to say at least 5 years probably. And, it's on the bed, folks. So it's involved in, it knows all my secrets, I guess is what I'm going to say. This featherbed knows all the intimate details about my life with my wife and everything that I do on my own. This thing could tell tales if it really wanted to. So what I need to make sure of is that it's going to keep quiet. I need to make sure that this featherbed is going to keep its fucking mouth shut, quite frankly. So we go to throw it out, and I got to be honest. Again, it's been on my bed for 5 years, folks, and there's activity that is involved in my bed. So I see this thing, and I'm horrified by it. Once the sheet comes off, I'm like, oh my God, because I don't change the sheets much at my house. I'll make the bed, certainly, and I'll hand a pillowcase or two, but Karen will change the linen every week, and she's very good about that, and I just know that there's fresh sheets, and I'm very happy about it. So I've never known that the featherbed was going to look like it looked. I mean, because it's white, okay? The featherbed is completely white, except it's not white anymore, because of certain activities or fluids that may have been involved in things that you do inside of your room. I'll try to spare you, folks. But just suffice it to say, we took the sheet off. I look at the featherbed, and it's white, but it's stained. It looks like a ghost got gang raped. That's what it looks like, because it is just covered. I mean, it is awful. It looks like. Honestly, it looks like if you boiled it, you could make a baby out of it. Like somehow there would be some sort of chemical reaction where there's so much DNA on it, and now I got to throw it away, and I don't want my neighbors to see me carrying this thing out. That's the thing that's driving me crazy. I'm like, oh, we got to figure out a secret. I don't want to get stopped by someone seeing it, and then they're gonna be like, hey, what happened there? Did you did you spill a case of buttermilk on your featherbed? No, I didn't. It's something entirely different. It's kind of, I don't even want to tell you what it is, folks. I tell you what, let's put it this way. If you add hot water, it'll start crying. That's what it is. So I don't want to tell them that. So I got to try to sneak it out in the middle of the night. So I have to roll it up, and it's huge. Like it's this big thing. And so I bring it out, and I roll it all up. And now it looks like a body. Now I look like a mafia guy, like when they roll a body up in carpet and dump it in the dumpster. So I roll it up and I sneak it out in the middle of the night, and I'm literally like Belushi in Animal House, just like doom, 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 and I'm hopping around looking, and I'm sticking to corners, and I'm trying not to make sure that I'm seen. So which is fine. And I finally get it down to my dumpster, and I look, and it's heavy, but it's all, it just looked horrible. So I open the door and I flump it into the dumpster, and that's it. Fine, good, everything's done. So it's in the dumpster, but then as I walk away from the dumpster, I'm expecting it to like kind of cry, like I'm like the plaintive wails of these souls that I've just cast aside and thrown into the dumpster. Like, no, don't leave us. Oh, it's horrible. And it's 5 years worth of activity. So it's like a super baby at this point. It's not even, it's taken on all of the, like, cause sometimes you angry fuck and sometimes you're happy fuck. It's like all of those emotions are tied up into this fucking featherbed. And so it would be like just a super angry monster emotion baby. And he would climb out and he would be mad that he was trapped in the covers for all those years. All right, so I'm like scared. So I go, I got to get in the house before I get attacked by this ghost. So I run it. Our new featherbed is delightful. Everything's fine. Everything's thrown away. Everything's great. Like 4 days later, Karen and I leave the house. We went to our standing breakfast on a Sunday. And as we're driving down the street, we turn left on I'm not going to tell you where I live. I'm an idiot. How stupid is that? Folks, here we are. I've mentioned there's homeless in our neighborhood, and I hate to belabor the point, but, is that you? Holy shit, I thought that was a wolf. I thought that was a crazy, like a coyote noise. That was the weirdest thing. I don't know if you folks heard that, but I just heard like a oh, and I actually stopped talking because I thought we were being interrupted by something outside. And believe me, if a coyote was outside, that would be the weirdest fucking thing in the world, because we're in the Hollywood. We're right in the city, right in the heart of it, folks. And you know what? Maybe it was one of the babies. That's what it was. That was the featherbed crying out. It was like, I can't believe you're telling this story about us. Oh, but it turns out it was Lili. Jesus Christ, I was haunted there for a second. That wasn't good. So again, I don't mean to belabor the point, but there are people who are homeless and enjoy themselves, and then there are people who just like garbage pick. Like they take plastic bottles and they'll do whatever they can. They'll dumpster dive and take whatever. So we go down the street, and there's a guy, and he's a well-known garbage picker, and he's got a pickup truck. Well-known garbage picker, folks. I'm sure you'd know him, Otto. You know Otto, the garbage picker. What I mean is he's prevalent in our neighborhood. We see him quite a bit. There's certain guys, like we know there's a guy who comes like virtually every Tuesday, and he will be in the dumpster. You can set your clock by him. He's there at 8 a.m. because Karen will go to work and will hand him bottles outside of her car. Like she sees him and gives him stuff. Because again, my wife can't just drive past the homeless. My wife has to slow down and go, hey guys, how's it going? Well, how's it going? I sleep in my own feces. Good to see you. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why she wants to have that chat, but she does. But so we're driving, we see this guy's pickup truck, and he's got rakes and, all sorts of bullshit that he found, an old fridge with no door. So we see his pickup truck, and sure enough, he's got like an oven, and you can see the oven's on its side, and he's got a fridge and a bunch of shit, and thrown over the top of all of it is the gang-raped ghost that used to live in my bedroom. Just flying for everybody to see. Like, he doesn't even care. Like, I rolled it up, and I was so scared to death that anyone was ever going to see me wheeling this fucking DNA featherbed jizz rag out to the goddamn dumpster. I wanted nobody to see that I had any sort of connection to it at all. This guy's got it flying from a flagpole on his car. Like, he's like from the nation of Cumsylvania. Like, he's just got it flying in the fucking breeze. He doesn't care at all that anybody sees this. He's like Lance Kerwin in The Loneliest Runner. Like when his mom would hang his sheets out the fucking window and she would embarrass him. That's a movie from the 70s. Look it up if you don't know what it is. But that's what literally, he's got it just flying out there. And I'm like, and I see it and Karen sees it, and we both have the best reactions ever, because literally, imagine at the same time, my wife just starts going, she goes, oh no, and I just went, ha ha ha! Like, I laughed, like at the same time I laughed when she goes, oh no, and then she started laughing because we just thought it was so ridiculous that he's got it. I mean, it looked like a bullseye. It just looked like a huge fucking spooge bullseye, and he had it thrown. He's using it as like a storage thing. Like, he stole it from the dumpster and he's got it as a throw rug over his stuff in the back of his truck. And I'm like, dude, don't you realize the souls you're disturbing by stealing that? Don't you? And now I don't even want him to have it, because what if this guy commits a crime with it? What if he goes to, like, he's like a murderer and he fucking saws somebody up on it, and then my DNA is all over the goddamn place? Oh, no, that's not good. And not just my DNA. They're going to go, well, it looks like a murder-rape, but we have to be honest with you, it looks like he may have raped this person 1,000 times. I mean, because this thing practically stood up on its own when I walked into the car. When I rolled it up to throw it away, it sounded like I was rolling up bubble wrap. That's how fucking bad it was, okay? So literally, if this guy uses this in any sort of crime, they're going to be like, well, we've got about 5 years worth of DNA to match up with. We actually can construct. You know what? Their sketch artists will be able to look at this blob and just go, yeah, I can draw that guy. Boom. And he hand draws me completely. Not even me, not just me from my headshot. Like, he's got it right down. Boom. Yeah, plaid shirt. That's him. There you go. Pick this guy up. So fuck, I don't want that out there. So then in my head, I'm starting to think about how I can steal it back. I'm like, I don't want it back. Well, how horrible would that be that I'm stealing it from the garbage picker, because then he's going to see it and tackle me, and then we have like a tug of war, and what it's like, let me have my baby. What am I going to say? Obviously, I threw it out, so I don't want it anymore, but I certainly didn't want it on display for everybody. Oh my God, this guy has no problem at all. Everybody's going to be like, oh, that guy, he just drove in from Gisburg, and they're fine with it. Jesus, I don't want anybody to see that, but he doesn't care. He's thrilled. Why are you thrilled to have that on display? Jesus Christ, put it away. So Karen just turns left, and I'm like, I looked at her and I go, well, what do you want to do here? She goes, I don't want to do anything. It's just, nobody's going to know. And I go, yeah, I guess nobody's going to know. Of course, until I tell everybody on the goddamn podcast, And then everyone's going to know. And so that's the thing, because normally you would just drive by some Jethro car like Beverly Hillbillies with a Jed and a Granny and an Ellie Mae and a huge fucking, cum Rorschach blot and a goddamn white flag, and you wouldn't even think twice about it. You'd just be like, who knows? I don't know. That just seems ridiculous. I don't know what could have happened there. But now you're gonna be like, fucking Schmidt, unbelievable. So now I've just kind of given up the ghost. I gave up the gang raped ghost. So we all know where that's coming from. All right. I don't even know what you do with that. Like, what does that guy do with that? Because he can't keep it, right? He's not going to keep it. Unless it's just, it's going to be, I just picture him laying on it and changing his oil with it. You know what I mean? Like, that goes under his car and he lays on top. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just stop. Dude, wait, have some pride, honestly. I mean, just throw it away. What are you doing? And then to fly it like, where everybody can see. Jesus, what are you thinking? Oh, Christ. Oh, man, I don't know. And I also was really horrified to see that over 5 years I had come in the shape of the Batman logo. That was really strange. I don't know. I couldn't have done that better if I'd tried. I don't even, because again, folks, I don't know where it's going. So is that guy going to sell that? Like, did they take their junk and sell it in a junkyard or sell it to somebody? That's not good. So I picture some college kid buying that, like from a secondhand store, just like a Raspberry Beret. Just I don't know. I guess pick someone in a secondhand store, because you don't even look at a secondhand store. If you're broke, maybe you just go in and you're buying stuff. You just got you're grabbing everything. You got grabbing hands. You grab all you can. Everything counts in large amounts, folks. Cody. That's retarded. So yeah, but I just picture some college kid taking it to their dorm and sleep. Oh man, I should have just burned it. You know what? But no, I couldn't burn it then, because then it would have been even worse, because then I would have been in the atmosphere and then it would have rained and then the zombies would have come. That's all of the souls would have gone up into the clouds, and then there would have been rain, and then little me's would have climbed out of the ground and come after me. Oh, Jesus. I should have learned a lesson with that rug from year one, but no, sure enough. But I mean, that the rug was that was irresponsible. But this was just, this was responsible. This was very Catholic of me, quite frankly, because I mean, we don't use condoms. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I'm married. Why don't need condoms? I haven't been with anybody in 17 years, for Christ's sake, except my wife. So there's no reason to fucking keep the gun in the holster. There's no reason to put up. There's no reason to put a goalie up. I'm done with the goalie. I'm finished. The goalie's been pulled, folks. Quite frankly, the goalie's been pulled. But at the same time, I have to tell you, that doesn't mean that I can put a shot on net. Okay, because just on the off chance that I score, I do not want to score, folks. I guess is what I'm telling you. So I have to just shoot the puck wherever it goes. I just can't put a shot on net. We can pull the goalie. It's just I can't put a shot on net. I have to put a shot right into the featherbed, and I did, and I'm well on my way to ruining another one. Quite frankly, you'll be happy to know. whether it's alone or with a friend, I'm going to go ahead and ruin that featherbed, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
You're listening to the 40-Year-Old Boy. Coming up, Ask the Lizard King. An Indian shaman asks X-Doors frontman Jim Morrison questions submitted by everyday listeners.
Oh, great Lizard King! Angie from Athens writes, if the 40-Year-Old Boy were to stop producing his podcast, what would be the end result of such a tragedy?
The end of laughter and soft lies.
Soft lies? What does that even mean?
The end of nights we tried to die.
Nobody died. Did they?
Break on through with Ask the Lizard King on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
Schmitty, where you taking us?
It's funny. Normally, the cliche is, as a single guy, like, you don't care about sheets. You know what I mean? You don't. None of that matters to you. And truly, I guess that's kind of the case. I mean, I'm lucky now because Karen cares about all that, and so she takes care of it, and that's really cool of her. And then I just happen to have like fresh sheets. Yay! But when I was, quite frankly, when I was single, I spent most of my time on fucking futons and floors. I mean, I never had to worry about sheets anyway. You know what I mean? It was like I'd live with 5 guys or 6 guys, or even when I was living with 2 guys, I was living on, I mean, I've slept in laundry piles, dude. So sheets have never really been my concern, but I will tell you that once I started to work the road as a road comic, sheets became my concern because I was on the lookout when I would go to a hotel to see if things were good or bad. Like, because you were always told, like, you've always been told not to sleep, because I'll sleep naked. All right, enjoy that, folks. And on the road, I was always told not to do that in sheets that are in a hotel because you never know. You know what I mean? And I don't know what that even means. You never know. Like, is that, am I gonna get Legionnaire's disease on my balls? I mean, I have no idea what that means. But I got into the habit of I would get into a hotel room, and it's so funny. I would, for a while, I would just sleep on top of the sheet, like on the bedspread, and I would turn the heat really high in my room. Even in the summer, I would just turn the heat up or turn the air all the way up. Like in the winter, all right. I'm studying contrast, folks, I guess is what I'm trying to say to you. I would turn up the heat really high in my room and then sleep above the sheets. And I would still be, naked on the bedspread. And then I find out the bedspread is the worst fucking thing in the room. I mean, the bedspread might as well, be in the back of some guy's pickup truck covering a freezer with no door on it, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, that's bad shape. So... I would always get rooms with like twin beds, and I would always pull back the covers to check the sheets to make sure the sheets were fine, not realizing the bedspread where I would spend most of my time was the filthiest fucking thing in the world. What was that noise? Is that you again? Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. I keep hearing these like I'm used to you laughing, which I guess I shouldn't be, but then I hear these little like noises, like your air is coming out of your balloon.
No, it's like kind of.
Well, I'm in hotels all the time, so I mean, I don't even fucking care. I mean, I don't even think about it. Whatever. So, until one time, I was in Fargo, North Dakota. I was working, doing stand-up. And Fargo, Moorhead. And this is at a time when I was like vagabond comic. I think I've told you guys, there was a point in time where I ran out, my car died in South Dakota, and I lived in the hotel. I lived in the Holiday Inn in South Dakota, and Jeff Connor, who booked the comedy tour, would send me wherever he needed a comedian. Like, he would send me to certain stops so then I could earn money. But at the same time, I was covering dates for him, and he didn't really have to pay me that much, and it was weird. It was like a comedy slave. I was like this indentured comedy servant. So he sent me to Fargo one time, and he sent me for like 2 weeks. So I go to Fargo, and and it was I really liked going there. It was the Moorhead, was it the Moorhead Inn or the Moorhead? I don't know. It was Fargo Moorhead is the name of the, they're a dual city like Minneapolis, St. Paul. And, the Moorhead Manor? I don't know. It was a hotel, but the thing was it was a very busy hotel because they had railroad workers who would stay there. Yeah, this is the Midwest, folks. Because it was close to the railroad, and then they would all sleep there, and then they would, they were constantly leaving. So they had a lot of turnover, and these guys would be crazy, these railroad dudes. Like they would, they'd be there for some would be there a long time like I was there, but then some people would only be there for like a day or two, and then they get fucking loaded in the bar, and then they'd be loud, and it was a fun place to be, and even to do comedy. So I was there for 2 weeks once. So I'm in the room, and I got 2 twin beds, and I check my sheets, I make sure they're fine, and so I'm okay. I'm in the room, and I do my shows on Friday, I do my shows on Saturday, and then I'm in the room Sunday, and then I'm in the room Monday night, and was it Monday? Yeah, I think it was Monday. And I'm watching the Bulls are in the playoffs. The Bulls are playing the Knicks. So I actually loved this life because it was kind of like being, like I was truly a professional comedian because I was living in the place where I was performing. It was awesome. So I'm on the bed. I'm laying on the bedspread, and I'm fully clothed, folks. I'll share that with you. And I'm watching the Bulls play the Knicks. And I loved, as a fat guy, I loved nothing more than getting food and sitting in my hotel room and watching sports. Like I loved every second of it. So I wound up getting a pizza because there was, I had no car. I will tell you that. When I said that Jeff would send me places, literally he would send me with other comedians and they would drop me off on their way to where they were going. I was like a comedy hobo, and I would show up and I would do stand up, and I would stay there for a couple weeks, and then the other comics coming through town would pick me up and take me to another gig or take me back to South Dakota where I lived. It was the really weird agreement, and I didn't care. I kind of liked it. It was like being like circus folk or something. It was really neat being on the road and getting driven to do stand up. So I had nowhere to go. I had no car, so you had whatever was walking distance from the hotel is where I'd have to go. So I was lucky. There were some places, but I'd order a pizza and they'd bring it to me, and then I felt like a king. I'm like, haha. So I'm in the room watching the Bulls, and I got pizza and I had a 6-pack of soda. So I'm watching the game, and I'm laying on the bedspread like a little kid would with his head in his hands, and I had my Coke on the floor. So something happened, and I reached down for my Coke, and I knocked it over. And I'm like, fuck. So I stood the can up, and I went and I grabbed a towel, and I dried up the Coke really quick, but I wanted to see the Bulls, so I did kind of a rush job on it. So this is going nowhere, but trust me, it's going somewhere. I'm on the bed watching the Bulls. and then the next commercial comes on. So you know how you hang off of a bed? Have you ever done that where you've kept yourself, but you've let your head hang off to look under the bed? So, but I wasn't looking under the bed. I hung my head down and I started using the towel, and I'm blotting the Coke up, and I put the Coke under the bed, and I'm swiping the Coke, and I swipe it out, and a condom comes out from under the bed. And I'm hanging off the bed, and I'm like, I can't see under the bed because it's dark, but I'm still blotting the Coke, and as I sweep it, you're blotting and you sweep, and a condom comes out from under the bed, and I'm like, oh, that's not for me. I don't think that's for me. I've been here only like 4 days, and I think we've all established I don't use condoms, folks. Again, this is pre-Karen, but still, I wasn't exactly Captain Rubber back then. So I go, oh, that's probably bad, right? So I turn the lights on in the room, and I get down and I look under the bed, and I wrap the towel around my hand. It's covered in Coke, but I don't fucking care because I figure, again, Coke is half battery acid anyway, so it's going to keep me safe whatever happens. So I sweep my hand under the bed, and I feel it. Once when I put my arm under the bed, I hear that noise of empty beer cans. Like, you know how beer cans go clunk, 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 like when they're empty and they smash? So I put my hand in, it's like almost like I punched into a beer can pyramid. That's how loud the noise is. And I sweep out under the bed. I'm talking beer cans, empty crushed beer cans, a pair of panties, condom, like more condoms, and like ripped up, the opening, like there's only the one condom, but there's empty condom, like Trojan, like ripped open packages. And all I did is I sweep one, and one armful is enough of garbage cans and panties and condoms, and I just go, what the fuck? And I stand up, and then I get the towel on me, and I'm like, and I throw the towel on the ground, and I'm looking at it, and it just looks like I'm honestly waiting to find a dead hooker. I couldn't even, what else could possibly be under the bed? It's insane. So fuck it. I go, I'm not even looking. So and the bulls are on, and I don't want to leave because the fucking bulls are on. But now the very fact that the cast of Very Bad Things has put all of their stuff under my bed, I got to go do something about it. So I freak out. I call the front desk, and there's a woman working there. Her name is Sarah, and she's not a woman. She's a girl. She's like 22. And I call her up and I go, hey, I need to switch rooms. She goes, what do you mean? And I go, I need to switch rooms. There's a bunch of stuff in my room. Like, I'm so freaked out. Like, I don't even know what to say. And she goes, I don't know what you mean, sir. And I go, hold on. And I just hang up the phone because literally she's 20 steps away. So I get out and I walk down the hallway and I go to her and I go, look, is there housekeeping on duty or anything like that? She goes, what is it? And I go, look, I get it. And she goes, you need to calm down because I'm starting to freak out. And I say, look, is there a manager? I need a manager. I need housekeeping. I need to talk to somebody. I almost want the mayor of Fargo. I mean, I want anybody to come in. And she's like, what's going on? I said, there's a bunch of garbage in my room. And she goes, well, housekeeping will take it. And I go, no, it's under the bed garbage. I don't even know if that's a qualifier, but that's what I said. And she goes, what do you mean? And I go, I mean, like, I'm in the room and unfortunately something went under the bed and I reached underneath and there's condoms and beer cans underneath my bed. And she makes this face, just incredulous, like, what are you talking about? And I go, come with me. She goes, well, I can't. I'll get somebody. And I go, well, I need to switch my room. I mean, I can't go back there. I'm not going in that room. And she goes, well, we can have someone clean it up. I go, I'm not. It doesn't matter if they clean it up. Are you fucking kidding me? I shudder to think what's under the other bed. I don't even know. Literally, like, it's going to be like a condom monster. He's going to come out. I want nothing to do with it. I need to get out of this room. She goes, well, okay, I'll send housekeeping down. And I go, good. And you'll get me another room, right? She goes, yes, I'll look into it. I'll do that. And so housekeeping came down. And first of all, this is on them, right? This has to be on housekeeping. Like, shouldn't they have done something where they looked under the bed? Because every other hotel, like in the world, when you go, there is no under the bed. There's probably a reason, and it all started in fucking Fargo, because they heard the tale of the fucking horrible bachelor party that wound up under a bed. And sure enough, man, the woman comes in from housekeeping, and I show it to her, And she doesn't quite understand what I'm saying. She's not, she's, like an older lady. And I said, I didn't put that there. That's under the bed. I don't even know what's under the rest of the bed. You need to look. And I don't even know about the other bed. And meanwhile, I'm packing my stuff. And after I go and run my arm under fucking hot water, and I'm packing everything up. And as I'm packing it up, and I just leave, I'm going to go to the front desk with all my shit, and they're going to put me in another room, or they're not. But I'm going to sleep in the lobby then. I don't fucking give a fuck. I'm not coming back to this room. And as I'm packing my stuff, I hear like clanking and all this stuff. And she's sweeping out everything. And it's just another pair of panties and more garbage, like just food. I don't even know how it didn't stink. There's like Burger King bags and stuff. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I go to the front, and I wind up talking to this woman, Sarah, at the front. And she's really cool. She turns out to be really nice. And she gets me another room. So I go and I get the other room. And I come in and I put my stuff in there. And this time there's just one bed. It's like a queen size bed. Or a king size bed instead of two queen beds or double beds, whatever the fuck. All I know, though, is that's more area for people to hide stuff. Like, as opposed to having two different beds where, who knows what's under both. Now I've got this one gigantic bed where, anything could be under there. A fucking portal to another dimension. I don't know what the fuck's under this bed. All I know is I put my stuff in, and the first thing I do is I turn on all the lights. I don't even know why I did that. Like, I thought, was there a scary boogeyman? I don't know why I turned the lights on, but I turn on all the lights, and I just immediately get down on my hands and knees and wrap my arm in a towel and just start sweeping it underneath the fucking bed to see if there's anything there. Thankfully, nothing. So I put my stuff down, and I wind up going back to the front lobby to talk to Sarah and tell her everything's okay with that room. And I'm also trying to debate whether I can write jokes about this at the time, because you really can't. I can't go up and go, hey, by the way, this hotel's fucking horrible. That's horrible. They'll fire me immediately. And again, I don't have a ride for like 8 days. So, I can't go anywhere. So I ended up going to talk to Sarah, and I explained to her that the new room is fine. And I said, look, you have no idea. I don't mean to be so weirded out about this. She goes, no. She goes, I saw it. They got like 2 bags of garbage out of your room. And so I don't even know how did they have a Mardi Gras parade? And then the maid just walked in and went, nah, fuck this, and swept everything under the bed? That would seem, believe me, the volume of stuff that they had, it would seem to be more effort to hide it symmetrically than it would to just throw it all away. Did she just look in and see condoms and ripped up? It must have been some crazy railroad worker party. That's the only thing I could think of. And because, they've been working on the railroad all the live long day, and they're looking to blow off steam. And who are the women who left their panties in the room? Or was it just like one dude with a 12-pack and a bunch of condoms, and like he's wearing ladies' underwear and jerking off in it? I don't know. My mind's racing at this point. And of course, I share all of that with Sarah at the front desk, and she's laughing. Thankfully, she thinks I'm funny, and we wind up joking around and goofing around, and she's pretty funny, and I wind up talking to her for a while, and then I go back to my room. So then, like I said, I don't have a show for like 4 days. So more and more at night, because again, I'm alone, I got nothing going, I don't know anybody in town, I find myself drifting out to the lobby at night and talking to Sarah, because she's like the overnight person, and I'm up all night anyway. So I go out, and she'll come out from behind the desk, and she and I, what I'll do, I'll go get food, or I'll order a pizza or whatever, and I'll pay, and I wind up hanging out with her talking, and she and I hit it off really well. And again, I have no friends in this town. I'm enjoying her company. And we're joking around again. And nothing, I should tell you, I'm not trying to bone this chick because, for one, she's got a wedding ring on. And for two, it doesn't fit that well, if you know what I'm saying. It's kind of jammed on her hand. She's a big girl. But she's nice. She's really sweet. And again, she lives in Fargo, and she's 22 and been married for 3 years and has 2 kids, that kind of deal. And so I'm not even thinking anything sexually. But she thinks I'm funny, and that's even better than getting laid. Believe me, she thinks I'm hilarious, and that's even better than her blowing me right there, because I'm like, oh, you're going to laugh at everything I say? Done. I am in. And that will explain a little more about our podcast dynamic. But you're going to laugh? I'm going to keep coming over to your house. So that's the thing, is she's laughing, and so now I find I wind up hanging out with her all the time. So like Thursday night of that week, finally, like the 4th day in a row, I have a show the next night, Friday, and I say, hey, are you going to come to the show? And she's like, oh, yeah, you know what, I think I would. She goes, maybe my husband and I will come. And I go, great, that'll be awesome. And we wind up staying up all night and talking, and she mentions, she's like, oh, man, I hurt my shoulder today. And I'm like, what happened? And she wound up taking care of her baby or something. She's stretched a muscle or whatever in her shoulder. So I'm like, oh, well, hold on. So I gave her a back rub, like a neck rub, like a shoulder rub. You know, I'm like, oh, this will help. And she's on the couch and I'm behind her and I'm just giving her a neck rub and we're talking. And by we're talking, I should say that I'm talking. She stopped talking at this point. And I go, is that working? And she goes, yeah. And so then I give her like, you know, folks, I can give a back rub. I'll just tell you that much. All right. I'm pretty good at it. I know what I'm doing. So I'm like, all right, where's the muscle? And I'm kind of, you know, squeezing her shoulders and I give her a back rub and then I go, oh, how'd that work? She's fine. And I go sit down and we start talking and I notice I'm getting like 1-word responses out of her. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're done talking tonight. And she's like, I got to get back to work. So she goes behind the counter. I go, all right. So I go back to my room. Next night, Friday, before my show, I get a call in my room. It's from the manager of the hotel. He wants to talk to me. I'm like, well, it took you 5 days to fucking apologize for finding garbage cans and panties in my room, but fine, let's do this. So it's like 4 o'clock. He calls me and he's like, hi, you know, I wanted to talk to you. We want to thank you for coming and entertaining in the hotel, but I got to talk to you about something that's kind of awkward. I says, well, what's going on? And he goes, well, how well do you know Sarah, who works here in as the front desk clerk? And I go, you know what? I've actually been talking to her the last 4 nights. She's really cool. She helped me out when all the shit hit the fan in my room. You heard about that, right? When they found panties and condoms and garbage in my room? Like, he hasn't even said 1 word of it to me. I want to make sure that he acknowledges it. He goes, oh, I heard about that. We're sorry about that. Well, Sarah called in sick today, and she said that it was because of you. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. Like, what does that mean? He goes, well, did you inappropriately touch Sarah at some point? And I go, wow. I go, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, well, no, she said that last night, like, you guys were talking, and she said you'd been, just like you said, you've been talking for a few days, but she said last night you got forward with her and you made sexual advances and you touched her. And I go, all right, hold on a second. Now, and here's the thing. I get that if a woman, like, all right, let's put it this way. If someone's sheltered and has only been like with her husband, and like I said, 22 years old, 2 kids already, been married for 3 years, like I said, obviously she doesn't have a lot of experience with guys. So maybe she thought that me giving her a back rub meant that I wanted to fuck her right there on the couch. But I'll tell you, like I told the manager, I go, look, she said that she hurt her shoulder at her house, and I gave her I rubbed her shoulders because I told her that I could help her because she said that she did something to her arm putting her baby in a crib. And he goes, yeah, you kind of really scared her because she called in sick and said she didn't want to come in as long as you were here. I go, you have got to be kidding me. I go, for 4 nights, we've been alone in the lobby talking, hanging out, doing nothing. I go, the very fact that I know she has a baby and a husband, like I knew that. Why would I even make a move? You've got to be kidding me. And now I want nothing more than to leave this fucking town. I want to get away from them. I don't want to do a show. And thanks, by the way, for dumping this in my lap fucking 3 hours before I go on stage. So now I have to go in my room and go, well, I'm going to shower with a rapist before I hit the fucking stage. I couldn't again, sheltered woman, I guess, must have thought that I was making an advance. Who fucking knows? I don't want to speculate. All I know is she is now scared of me and calls in sick to work because she thought that I was making sexual advances to her by giving her a fucking neck rub. And I told the guy, I go, look, I got to tell you, that did not happen. Absolutely not. I cannot stress enough. I know that she's married, and I don't want to even say, look, she's not my type. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that when I gave her a neck rub, I was in up to my knuckles because my fingers disappeared in flesh. I don't want to say any of that. Okay? I just want to make sure he knows that I had nothing inappropriate on my mind at all. Because honestly, if I had, I would have taken care of that 3 fucking days ago. You think I gotta spend 4 days laying the groundwork to try to bone this chick? I don't think so. I think I take my shot on Tuesday, and if it doesn't happen, no problem. I'm not going to wait until, and then I'm going to do it with a back rub? What the fuck? I'm not marrying this girl. Jesus Christ. So I said to him, no. He goes, all right, well, I just want to let you know what's happening, and, she also told her husband, and he got on the phone with me, and he wasn't happy. And I'm like, all right, well, look, I'm leaving, Sunday or whenever I I go, is it okay if I do the shows? He goes, yeah, that's fine. Just, she's probably not going to come in while you're here and we'll cover her shifts. And I go, I personally don't give a fuck if you cover her shifts. And now in my head, I'm like, good, I hope it's a chick that works at night that I can talk to, because fuck, if I'm getting accused of it, maybe I ought to just fucking go ahead and bone somebody in this goddamn hotel. So I go get ready for my show. So I go to do my 8 o'clock show and it goes great. And I walk out into the lobby, and I'm talking to people because in between shows, the 8 o'clock and there's a 10:30. So the 8 o'clock ends, and I'm out in the lobby, and people are talking to me that are fans of the show. They're very nice. They want to talk. And this is, believe it or not, this will sound weird. They want autographs. I know that sounds dumb coming from a middle act in Fargo Moorhead, but, there are some people who come to the shows every week in those type of towns, and they get an autograph from every comic there just in case. I mean, I guess it's like a lottery thing. And plus, if they like you, you know what I mean? They might like you, and they might want an autograph. I don't want to get in their heads. I mean, why do I have to justify why these people want an autograph from me? Stop staring at me with your accusing eyes. Okay? Maybe they like me. Maybe they want an autograph from me. Okay? Just back off, folks. So I'm talking to people, and as I'm signing autographs and dealing with friends and all these nice people, all of a sudden I hear someone just yells, "Hey!" Maybe not so old manish. I just, what happened there? I tried to restrain my voice because I didn't want to pop the microphone, so I didn't want to yell "Hey!" like this guy yelled "Hey!" So literally, I was like, I said it like Santa. That was like the weirdest "Hey" I've ever said in my life. Oh my God, was that weird? All right, but I'm with these people in the lobby, and I hear, "Hey!" And I don't look up because, again, it's a crazy hotel. There's railroad workers. Right as far as I know, it could be a guy with a handful of condoms wearing panties running through the lobby. Looking for his lost stash. I don't know what's happening. But I'm talking to people, and then I hear, "Hey, motherfucker!" Now, I think I've told you folks that I'm always looking for trouble. I'm always excited when something bad happens. So I've got my head down, and once I hear "Hey, motherfucker," I look up with like a smile, like, all right, someone's going to get their ass kicked. And I see a guy. He's across the room. He's about 10 steps. He's staring right at me. And he goes, "Yeah, you motherfucker. Guess what, folks? I'm getting my ass kicked." Turns out I'm the motherfucker in this story. I didn't even see it coming. So I look at this guy, and he's weird. He's got... He's wearing like a suit, okay, but no tie. So it looks like he just came from work. I don't know who he is, and he's got glasses, and he's kind of a big dude, And he goes, "Yeah, you motherfucker." And I look up, and I'm like, and I'm talking to people, so I'm wondering if still, again, he's looking in our general direction, but he's looking right at me. I know it's me. And I go, "What, me?" And he goes, "Yeah, motherfucker, you want to put your fucking hands on my wife?" And now I think I know who we're dealing with here, folks. This might be Sarah's husband, who I've heard so much about for the last 4 days, about them and their lovely children, and I've gotten along and everything was great. But apparently now he thinks I'm a motherfucker. And he goes, "Yeah, you want to put your hands on my wife?" And I go, "Dude, you need to fucking calm down." And he goes, "No, you fucking, what, you want to try to fucking molest my wife? Is that what you wanted to do? You fucking put your hands..." And now he comes at me. Okay, now I'm in the lobby. I just finished a show, and I'm wearing a very nice silk jacket, folks. And I think some nice Zubas. I might be wearing some Zubas, because, again, I was very stylish. And Zubas are not stylish, by the way. That's the joke. And he comes at me. He's walking at a clip, and he's coming hard, all right? And he's not running, but he's walking really, like, power walking toward me. And he's like, and he keeps saying that I molested his wife. Now, there's people around who just saw me and enjoyed me. They liked my act. They don't need to hear that I'm a rapist of some sort, especially when it's not true. Look, if I rape somebody and some guy wants to yell it to the heavens, all right, then I got to take that. That's one ass raping I got to take. But quite frankly, if I didn't do anything and you start fucking impugning me in front of my many fans who want my autographs, I can, like, out of the corner of my eyes, I can see people just sobbing into their cocktail napkins and my autograph running, the ink from it running out of the net as their hero is dead. Say it ain't so, Joe. But this guy comes running at me, and here's the thing that he doesn't fucking realize is I'm fucking, I don't play that fucking shit, all right, at the time. Maybe now I do. But he comes at me, and he's all chest and chin. Okay, so he's not ready for battle. He's jawing like Sergeant Slaughter with a big fucking lantern jaw and chest. He comes at me leaning forward, all chest and chin. So I just stand there and I'm waiting for him to show up. And he's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, you want to fucking molest my wife? You want to put your hands on my fuck? Why don't you try me on for size? Why don't you fucking try me on for..." And folks, He gets close enough. His chin is right fucking there, and I fucking slap him as hard as I can in the fucking face. Because, again, he doesn't have his hands up. He's not ready to fight. He's got his jaw out in his chest. And he's like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, you know. And it is the cleanest to this day, folks. To this day, it is the cleanest shot I've ever landed in my life. The timing, impeccable. His face it was like on a platter. It was like he literally was just saying, hit me. His jaw might have said, hit me on it. But, dude, I fucking smacked him, and the best part of it was, like, it made this whip crack. It sounded like I cracked a whip into his face because I just bitch slapped him. I didn't punch him. I didn't square up on him. I let him come walking up. I let him walk up and let him get super close, and then I just fucking paintbrushed him right in the face, hard whip crack, and the best part of it, his glasses go flying. Like, to the point where you can almost hear him go as they boomerang off of his face. So he comes at me, jaw, fucking chest, and I fucking smack him in the face. Glasses go flying, and he goes down. He's all ass and elbows at that point. His limbs are akimbo. He's fucking on the ground, and I'm just standing over him. I'm going, you need to calm down. Everybody grabs me and pulls me to the side. They fucking grab him and drag him away. And then the manager, who I had a nice chat with earlier, comes out, and he's like, Roy! Because apparently this guy's name was Roy. And Roy is all just fucking laid out at this point because Roy did not get up. I mean, because he didn't see it coming, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't even a power shot, but when you don't see it coming and you get clipped, forget about it. I didn't hit him on the button, but I was certainly in the neighborhood. And he's just on the ground, and they're dragging him away, and I'm just standing there now, silk jacket, looking great, looking to sign an autograph or two for some pugilistic fans who might be around, because you know what? Even if you didn't like my comedy, you have to admire that right cross, because it was gorgeous. And then the manager comes, and he gets in between us, and he pulls me aside, and he's like, you need to get out of here. So I go to my room. I want nothing to do with what's going on in the lobby. I just get the fuck out of there. And I go to my room, wait for the second show. As I'm waiting for the second show, the manager then comes and knocks on my door, and I answer it, and he's like, what happened out there? I said, well, he came in yelling, screaming, saying I molested his wife, saying all these different things, and then when he got close enough, he had his arms up like he was going to hit me, so I hit him first, knocked him out. And he's like, well, you didn't knock him out. And I go, good, I'm glad. But I hit him. And he's like, okay. And he goes, you going to do the second show? And I said, yeah. I mean, if you guys still want me to, that's fine. I go, is he still out there? And he goes, no, we took care of it. He was with two friends that waited for him in the car. But I will tell you that, they might be back. I said, well, I mean, that's fine. I go, I'm not doing anything but going to the show and going to my room, going to the show and going to my room. I go, I have 2 shows tomorrow night. Do you think they're going to come back tomorrow night? And he goes, I'll call Sarah and try to make sure that they don't, but I'm just telling you that they might come back. I go, well, I leave Sunday morning. He goes, well, can you leave tomorrow night? I said, I don't have a car. He goes, all right, I'll see what I can do. I don't even know what that means. So I go to the second show, and the whole time I'm waiting to get charged. I'm waiting for anybody to come flying at me on stage. So the next day he calls me up, the manager, and he goes, hey, I arranged it where you're gonna leave tonight. I said, before or after the shows? He goes, no, you'll leave right when you're done with the shows, so make sure you're packed. I go, well, is that necessary? I go, I'm leaving Sunday morning. What are they going to do between Saturday and Sunday? He goes, well, I will tell you this, that Roy's already been here once today, and he wants to know, like, where you're at, and he was with 2 friends who came in with him this time. So I go, well, dude, do you even want me doing the shows? He goes, yeah, it's fine. He goes, we'll make sure that they don't come into the showroom. I go, well, what about when I come out of the showroom, dude? I go, is this, now all of a sudden I'm going to get assassinated in Fargo? He's like, just relax. He goes, no problem. Do your shows, but I've arranged for you to leave tonight. Just make sure you're packed and ready to go. So apparently now I'm, I'm trying to get away from the Nazis. Like it's all of a sudden it's going to be crystal knocked, and I got to sneak out. So I do my show that night, and then in between shows, the manager pulls me aside. He's like, all right, here's what you're going to do. Second show, you're going to go out the side door of the club, and then I'll take you through the kitchen, and then we'll go ahead and get you to your room and get your stuff, and we'll get you out the front door. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Why don't you just have a helicopter team rappel in and just, fucking take me up in a harness and take me out of town. What the fuck? All right, I'll be ready. So sure enough, I finished my second show, and the manager goes, he like does a whistle, like, like a 2-finger in your mouth whistle. I finished my second show, like, he blows this huge whistle. I look at him and he's like waving, like, get over here. So, because now I think there's danger. Like, are they in the place? So I have to sneak out the side door. He takes me to the kitchen. He goes, Roy is here. And I'm like, okay, well, where? And he goes, he's on the grounds. Well, God, dude, this guy ran into a right hand. He's not exactly sneaky, all right? I don't think he's going to sneak up on any of us. This guy came at me leading with his chin. There's no way he's going to be what is he in, like, blackface? I mean, where is he? And he goes, I know he's on the grounds. Let's go. So he takes me out through the kitchen, and then they bring me to my room, and I go, can I change? He goes, no, just get your stuff. And I see there's 2 comics, because I told you I have to get basically sent everywhere by comics. He arranged with Jeff to have 2 comics pick me up, and they look at me, they go, what the fuck did you do? I go, that's a long story. So I grab my bags, and I go through the front door. I go walking to the front lobby, and the manager goes, no! Like, it's a commando raid. I go, what are you saying? He goes, come on the side. I go, oh, all right. So literally, he's frantic, and me and the other comics are laughing. We just think it's the most retarded thing in the world. And now that I have these 2 comics with me, I got backup in case Roy's got friends, unless he's got a fucking gun, and believe me, it's Fargo. Anybody can have a fucking gun at that point. So sure enough, he takes me out the side door, and I'm standing there, and he makes the other comics go get the car, and he's looking around, like, waiting for Roy. And as they pull up in the car, I hear, hey, motherfucker! Sure enough, fucking Roy is across the parking lot. But the thing is, he's on foot. He doesn't have any backup. He doesn't have any friends. He's not ready to chase me out of town. So the fucking manager, he freaks out. He goes, go, go, go! He opens the back door. He pushes me into the car and, like, throws my luggage on top of me like I'm ducked down in the back seat. And he slams the door and he hits it. And then they fucking drive off. And as we're driving, I just hear, motherfucker! Like, in the background, and we co-driving. And this comic, Mike Chittister, was Mike Chittister? I think it was. And he just goes, well, I can't wait to hear this story. I think that's my favorite part of the whole thing, is that they had no idea why they were getting me out of town. They were just told by Jeff they were going to have to pick me up that night and then hide me in the back seat and get me out of the city limits. As if like I had brought a nuclear bomb to Fargo or something. I can't wait to hear this story. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can get me at MySpace.com/MikeSchmidtComedy. You guys can follow me at Twitter at Twitter.com/the40year-old-boy. You can be my friend at Facebook at Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy. As always, that's the number 40. You can go ahead and be Lili Von Stupp's friend. That's our friend Lili over there, laughing and being friendly. You can be her friend at Facebook.com/Lili Von Stupp, and that's one L, as always, as I will tell you now. You can send her a direct email at Lili at burlesque411.com. That's Lili, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Hey, what's happening? It's Mike, host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, the show you're listening to right now, unless, of course, I've decided to advertise on other shows, and I don't think that happened. I wanted to tell you guys about the Year 1 download set, available at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. 52 episodes of the 40-Year-Old Boy. It's got all the new artwork and theme music tied in, and it's got my liner notes for every single episode. It's got, I'll tell you about the original music, the titles and running times, ramblings about the episodes themselves. So go ahead and pick up the 40-Year-Old Boy Year 1 box set at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. The 40-Year-Old Boy Year 1. 52 episodes, $25, one brutally funny podcast.
You know what I was going to do, folks? I was going to cut that last story in half. I thought about it. I was like, I told it and did it, and then afterwards I'm like, you know what? I could take a chunk of that out and then move it like the next week. But the thing is, you can't. This show is such it's pinwheeling all over the fucking place. I don't even, you know what that means? I would have to then listen to that show. I don't like listening to the show again. It's just, folks, here's the thing. When I say stories, when I talk, they're just dead to me. They're just words at that point, folks. They're just, and I think they're just, I don't know. There's no life in them if I have to tell them a second time. It just becomes worse. It becomes work, quite frankly. It's just words spilling out of me. And as we all know, words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. That's for you, Cody. All right. But yeah, I don't like being that guy. So I was talking to Lili, and I'm like, what if we took a chunk? Like, because the thing is, once I told the story about the featherbed, why am I? You don't care. Why am I giving you this much behind the curtain? This is dumb, right? Isn't it? Or do I give them a look at the process? Nobody gives a fuck about the process. Folks, there's a process. I don't know if you're aware of this. The process is I come in and I sit down and I babble like a fucking jackass. Oh, that's crazy. All right. So, whatever. Who cares? But you know what? I'll send me your opinion on that. Like, because what I was going to do, I was going to do it like a cliffhanger. Like, I was going to tell the beginning, like I was going to get through and tell that story up until I met Sarah behind the counter. And then I was going to go something cute like, it's interesting. There's a little more to that story, but I'm going to have to get to it next week, probably. And then I was going to do it next week. So tell me if you think that would have been something fun. I mean, I don't know why I want your opinion on it, because what the fuck? It's not going to change my mind. I'm going to do it if I do it, or not do it if I don't do it. Believe me, God, I beat my head against the fucking card table sitting here going, well, should we cut it? Should we not cut it? What should we do? And I'm telling you, no one in their right mind has ever obsessed over something so unimportant in their entire fucking lives. It's the kind of thing where when guys are like writing in a room and they're writing cartoons, and they're trying. Well, do you think the mouse would go over the cliff, or do you think the mouse would get caught in a net? And then literally, people will talk about that for an hour and 45 minutes. They will go on and on about what they think the mouse would do. What's the mouse's motivation? Should we name the mouse? What's happening with this mouse? And that's what my show is. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this mouse, folks. And I guess I guess I'm just interested to know. Fuck it. I should have just sprung it on you. I shouldn't even tell you, because then now in the future when I go cliffhanger, fuck, he told us he was going to do that. Or maybe now it's even better. This is a cliffhanger. This is a cliffhanger for the cliffhanger format that will come in the future. Now you're constantly waiting for the cliffhanger to show up. God damn it, I'm smart. You know what? I've revolutionized the cliffhanger by giving you a cliffhanger about cliffhangers. All right. I mentioned Write Lili, Write Me, be our friends on Facebook, and go to YouTube. We still have clips on YouTube. You can go check those out. They're old. My hair is much longer, and I think my chins are much bigger. But eventually I'll put something else up there. Why don't I? I got to compete with the Chinese eating live fried fish. Why don't I? I should put something up there. You see that clip? There's a clip on YouTube of them eating a live fish that they fried in China. Like they took, and the way there's actually a process of how they keep the fish alive while they cook it. I think that's genius. I love these Chinese Hitlers or Hitlers. I don't know how you would want to go with it, but they learned how to keep a fish alive while they cooked it, so then they can eat it while it's alive. Who's that? Look, I'm a fat motherfucker, okay? And never once have I gone, fuck, I wish I could find a way to make my food that much more interesting. No, recipes are good enough. You know what? They invented spices so your food was interesting. You don't need it kicking and flopping around. I mean, I eat live sweet shrimp at the sushi bar. They pull it out, it's live, and then they crack its head off, and then they fry up the heads, and I eat those. I've told you all about that. But that's not me eating, crazy live fried fish staring at me and going, dude, why would you do this to me? And actually, that's what happens, because the fish, I don't know, that's one of the byproducts of when you fry it, or that it's alive. You can actually see a thought bubble come out of its head that says, dude, why would you do this to me? But the video, it's only like a minute long, and it's a fish. His head is normal, his whole body is fried, and then they put chopsticks in his mouth, and he like flops, and he's breathing, and they put like a wet rag over his head. Who thought of this? I don't know who the fuck thought of this. How bored are you? The only people who would think of this would be the Chinese or 12-year-old boys. That's the only people who would ever, if 12-year-old boys had access to a deep fryer, holy fuck, what would they wind up cooking? Everything in the world. They would find a way to put something around a cat's head and then fry him up. They'd fry up a shoe and a bike. They'd do all that. This is what 12-year-old boys would do. Why did the Chinese become 12-year-old boys? It makes no sense. I don't think 12-year-old boys would then eat the byproduct of the frying, but the Chinese do, man. They just plunge right in with the fucking chopsticks. They're eating the fish's body, and he's looking around, thought bubble over his head going, dude, why would you do this to me? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I think that God's got a sick sense of humor, man. And when I die, I expect to find him laughing. I can tell you that. Certainly about these people eating the fried goddamn fish. China, wake up, fellas. I don't know what your problem is over there with the eating of the fried fish and the doing all the craziness. And the thing is, people are concerned about the fried fish. Like, it's now this huge news story and everybody's all upset that they're eating a live fried fish. Why don't we concern ourselves with the 3-year-old boy holding the camera for 5 cents a week? I mean, You know he's in some goddamn sweatshop, and he's been brought out of the TV production sweatshop long enough to go, oh, fuck, if they do that to a fish, what the fuck are they going to do to me when I grow up? This is going to be horrible. So I don't get it. I'm a dick, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a decent guy because I am a jerk. And I'm not a jerk. Man, I'm an awful guy. I'm not an awful guy. I am not a good guy. But I don't think I'm a bad person overall. So, and go ahead and by all means judge that. I'm kind of a jagoff. I got no future. What am I talking about? But I am a jagoff. And I'm not a jerk. I'm a nice guy. It's just I guess I have jerky tendencies. I've done so much ridiculous stuff, and then I wonder afterwards, I'm like, man, how come I don't hang out with anybody? Here's why, because you're a dick. You're finished. 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 You're finished.